It's funny. It's like Kenya used to have the best DJs,
Mm-hmm.
and Uganda weren't that good.
Mm-hmm.
But like for me, when I started, in Nairobi, the DJs who would be in the club would even, as they're playing, they'd have a cassette player playing what they're playing, and they would sell those cassettes.
So they'll be recording as they're mixing.
If you're a customer and you say, "Oh man, you're playing good," there's a tape here. It's how much was that? I don't know, about something like 500, 600 bob.
That was the hustle right there.
But you could buy it. Okay. Like for me now, like they call them old school DJs, but I still feel they're some of the best in East and Central. I'll talk of Alberto, Shy. Very many have died, but they were not that old as people think. These were young guys. Alberto, Shy, even Barry. After you've played that night, you go and practice. Nowadays, people just think, you show me how to use Serato and I'm going to be like you. And you look at the person and say, you have to.
Because there's shortcuts now.
It's hard. It's like going to school and they teach you how to paint, but they can't teach you how to be a master.
You have to keep at it.
You have to work at it, which is what a lot of kids, everyone just thinks that they can pay to be an instant DJ, and it's not like that. It's a choice of music. A choice of music means you have to know the music. In my case, when I started being a DJ, okay, there was the music of the moment, but then I'd start trying to find out, like I never used to know Zairwa. You go and ask, what songs are the big ones? You ask the older people, uncles, as I have told you, and even ask your dad, what's the big song? And you say, you play this song by Franco, and you learn it, and you listen to it. But nowadays, people just don't bother. It's why I would say truthfully, Sunny is I think maybe with the exception, I won't mention the competition, but you're the only guys who play R&B and hip hop now. Why? Because today's DJs, because the beats are hard, or at least in their heads they're hard, they won't play it. They can't be bothered to play.
Okay, because pop music kind of has the same beat and it's a lot easier to work with.
And it's something I know because I know your mom was a bit strict. She was strict, yes. You'd have to learn things. When you're a kid in school, you've got to learn things. Even though you're not going to do rugby. You get to know who are the stars in rugby internationally.
Yes.
Such that when you go on air, I mean, this is what's helped me with my career.
Speaking of your career, radio has been a very big part of your life for the last, how many years were you on radio?
I've only done Capital 23 years.
23 years.
Even Sanyu, we started. For those who don't know, I am the original Sanyu boy. Yeah.
So how did that happen? First FM station.
Okay,
back then.
radio came out. And actually, there were two stations rushing to be the first station, private station, on Sanyu and Capital. Sanyu came out first. How did I get to it? Emi Kato, for those who know the rally driver, okay, it was their station.
Yes.
So he told John, get Alex. Alex knows music. At the same time, Chris Ireland was there. So John just came to us and said, you come, I'm going to give you money. We said, to do what? Radio. For me, it was a childhood thing.
Okay.
Because I was when I was in primary, FM radio was also private in the UK. But at night, you were able to catch FM radio from the UK on shortwave. So you'd hear them at night. They all used to be Radio Carolina, Kiss FM, because they all used to be on boats on the River Thames. You know, they all used to be pirates. But you could catch them on shortwave at night.
Okay.
So for me, I had always thought, I would love to. So when John came and said, Emi told me. So I said, This is, in fact, like for me, my bucket list is shortened. That it was one of my dreams since a kid
to be on radio.
So I said, yeah, let me do it. And then I found we joined with Chris Ireland. And what was so nice when we got together was Chris knew all the rock music, I knew all the R&B music, so it was easy.
The match made in heaven.
They had both the latest CDs, Radio Express, and very clean. It was in Musée, God rest his soul, house, and because he stayed on one side of
in Naguru.
But it was like, do your thing.
So you had the freedom.
Yeah, at that time there was no prep, no guideline, just kola. That was it. That's how it started.
Okay, and then you were at Sanyo FM, and then you moved to Capital FM.
Yeah, you see, at the time when we started with Sanyo with Chris, we were the only two, and we had to play the whole day.
Those were crazy hours.
Yeah, I would start 6 to 10, then Chris would come in 10 to 1. Because we didn't have aircon like you have now, we had to let the machines cool down for an hour, 2 o'clock. And then Chris would continue from 2 to 4. I would do 6 to 8. And then Chris would have to finish the night and sleep the night in the studio.
Wow.
And then start the morning. Then I would follow him at 10 to what? It would just reverse until after a while they got Rastarob. Rastarob came after about a month.
Wow.
My friend.
Those were long hours.
So, and then first of all, the late Musée Kato's house was at the top of the hill. And they weren't paying us like, okay, some people don't think they're not being paid enough, but Munange, I started at 100,000 shillings. No housing, no benefits. That is what you got. But we agreed to disagree, and William Pike came and said, hey, why don't you come? And then he told me, come to Capital. And then he came and said, but if you come to Capital, you have to do the morning. But because I'm very into being informed, because that's how they told us in Capital after we got a consultant. He said there are 3 precepts you should have when you get behind the mic. You should inform people, entertain people, and educate people. And you should be able to do it in 30 seconds minimum.
Breakfast show. Early hours, waking up at 4 a.m., I think, pretty much. 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m. 5, used to get up at 5?
Or even late, because I was still playing in the clubs a lot.
So you were doing late night clubs, then going on air in the morning?
Yeah, it was hard until I insisted, you people, if you want me to do this morning show, you pick me up.
Okay, then that made it easier.
But I was still trying to insist on club because I do that very well. I still do it, but at that time, a bit difficult. First of all, I had to do it myself. I used to come. I start off very well, and then I said, "Let me take a dose," and I would dose for the rest of the show. Even if you slapped me, I wouldn't wake up.
I think a lot of things are becoming clear.
Things balanced out with Christine. Christine, I still consider the best partner ever.
Best partner ever.
Ever.
Are you still very close?
Yes, we are.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
When you do the morning show, like, I don't know how it is for you, but for me, after years of doing it so much, coming off, as I'm talking immediately after, it's like coming off a high. I have never done drugs, but it's like, but you get, so you're there, you're chilling and you're checking out. You got to see what's happening. And today's, can I say, youth, the next generation, first of all, you have to remember they never saw war. They've never seen a war. They've never seen shortages like you have and I have. And yet, they have more they have more access, 10 times more than we ever had. Like, these days, you don't even have to buy records. You just download it off the web. it doesn't even cost that much to get music. You can find out what's happening elsewhere. But, and I must say it, and for those who are the new millennium, I'm sorry, but you guys, you guys, you need to style up. Yeah? Even if you're looking for styles and what is happening, trends, it's all there for you. You've got DSTV, you've got the internet, which now streaming is accessible here in Uganda. But I remember one time when you were downloading one song in Kampala, it took the whole day.
For one song.
One song.
And now you have access to everything.
10 minutes and you are there styled up. It's something I keep emphasizing when I meet maybe younger people. They want something. It doesn't have to be DJing. It can be anything else.
Okay.
But there's what they call focus. You've got these things. They're everywhere. You know, mobile. I remember we had to. Alex, where are you going? I'm going to town. What are you going to town for? I want to call our uncle who's in the UK. To come all the way to post office to make a call to the UK. Now here you just pick up your mobile.
Phone. And it's so much easier now.
I wonder what's going to happen to all of us who have not registered our SIM cards now.
Well, if you're trying to call Alex, I think you'll find him on
Monday.
Facebook
Monday.
now. Even that, no?
Smile. My smile, they said, man, have to register a SIM card. So Monday.
Maybe. Okay, so Alex, you said you met Drew at Capitol and you were working together.
Yes.
And I remember you dated for actually a very, very long time.
Yes.
Was that because you didn't believe in marriage, or was it you decided no, that wasn't a priority?
In my head.
It wasn't.
Yeah, this is my partner. I don't know.
Because there's that debate right now. Some people believe that, marriage is like a dead institution.
No, it was just it wasn't in my head, but I don't want to go into the details, but in certain circumstance, I said, okay, you can come and stay at my place. And that staying at my place became 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And I looked and I said, what the hell am I? Because one thing she found out, because she also didn't grow up here.
Okay.
She grew, but she found out as we got to know each other, she realized, hey, even her aunties knew me before I knew her, before she knew me.
Oh, okay.
Like the family, they knew my mom, the friends were the same. So why not?
So
yeah, it was that's how it just came to be. So I did the first wedding in Kampala, which was out of church. Which was at Munyonyo, at Sudia's. Sudia just said, here, I've given you Munyonyo, have the wedding. And I remember that after we had our wedding, everyone was always coming up to Capitol. Excuse me, Kakati, what do we have to do to have our wedding outside church? Oh my God! Now it's like a party. But at that time, I had to go. First of all, she was Protestant. I was Catholic. I had to go and convert her. I was lucky that also in my family, I have very many members of the Catholic Church, Knights of the Papal Order. I was happy that I have grown up with best friends like Oscar Kihika, who railroaded it through the Ministry of Justice. Yeah, I mean, it was...
So you were able to find your way through...
Like, no, for me, I'm a bit of a stickler. I don't like having matitis in my life. I don't want... Don't give me headache, please. Let's do this thing one day, chop, 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 and it's done, and we move on.
Now you got together, you were together for many years, then you got married, then unfortunately things didn't really work out. But as someone who was always in the public eye, it seemed like the whole world was following what was going on in your relationship.
That's the problem.
How did you handle that?
No, that is the problem. It has always been the problem. It's even like when we agreed, we made our agreement with Capitol last week, and I decided I'm not going to go through details. I want to know where that Prado is. Apparently I go to Prado. They haven't yet delivered it to me, if you just want to know. And the instant 30 million, I did have a good package, but the instant 30 million, especially social media in Kampala, they're very irresponsible. They say things, and I can state categorically, it gave a bit of a problem with that, because today they say anything, and then people say, "No, talking about in red pepper." It is true.
Yes, and they believe it. They believe whatever is.
In the beginning, I used to be really annoyed about it and try and fight it. Actually sued some, and we settled out of court. But then after a while, you get to learn. I learned by meeting other stars in other countries. Sometimes you just ignore.
You just ignore and leave it.
You just live your life. If you want to believe what the stuff they're throwing at, that's their problem.
There was a time, though, that you were sharing what was happening in your heart, also on social media.
Have emotions.
You were posting and talking about, especially after the breakup. How are you doing now?
No, I mean, I have good support. That's all I can say. Good friends, good working colleagues, good family. They just said, move on, Alex. And I happen to be resilient because even though I owe everything to my mom, who has brought us, me and my sister up, a lot of the people have told me how to fend for myself. I haven't had help from above or handouts. I've had to do it alone, actually.
You said even from school you had to work to support yourself.
At one time, I can tell you things like, have you ever walked from Entebbe?
No.
No, okay. Now,
Entebbe to Kampala.
Left school. I had no money. I had to get to work to play in Clouds. And I did. Now, if I was in Nairobi, it wouldn't have been a problem. I could do hitchhike. Uganda, they don't know these things. Mbuchi, hitchhike, put your finger out, your thumb out to the road, and we stop for you. Do I know you? Do you know me? Sweet. Next thing I knew, by the time I've realized I've walked from Entebbe to Kampala. There are things like that. My mom taught me how to be very self-reliant. Like by about P6, P7, I used to catch a plane by myself to go to school in Nairobi. How to pack my things. There are things like that throughout life. I've learned how to be self-reliant. It's basically me self-reliant. In the beginning, you get mishaps, but after a while, you get to know what to do. Such that you get on and do it, because the only one who will do it for you is yourself.
That's true. So now you have decided to take the next step, I guess. You've left radio, and everyone is wondering.
You see, this is what I said. Our media is very irresponsible.
Well, they said you retired from.
Who is they?
Okay, the media.
Who is they?
Okay, you tell us.
I'll put this out there. I've just left Capital. I've got options.
Okay.
Right now, I'm just chilling out.
You're chilling?
No, it's only been about a month, 5 weeks. I've just left Capital, but people had already said that I've resigned. Similarly, I've retired.